G'day, I'm David G. Sheshnag Mandir. What on earth is Kundalini? The online ashram.com. This video is about doing the work and how it works to do the work, but you need to keep doing the work for the work to work. There's several things, and doing the work just means basically becoming more aware of your patterns, being more conscious of your subconscious, being more conscious of your unconscious patterns coming through your subconscious, and not being in control of those expressions. But to do that, you need to either analyze the experiences you're having in your everyday life objectively, or introspect. And some of the things that help during that journey is like talking helps. Whether you find a third party in the form of a psychologist or someone on the same wavelength from the community that you're in, to be able to talk, where they talk to listen and not talk, or they participate to listen, to hear you, rather than listen in the quest to respond or offer advice. There's also different levels of talking, isn't there? You can engage in a healthy conversation about your patterns with someone who's wise and doesn't superimpose themselves into that conversation, which is really hard because most interactions are coloured as we perceive them and as we express them, coloured by ourselves. But talking helps. There's also looking at yourself, by yourself, or with yourself. It's amazing that you can use yourself to look at yourself, to work yourself out. The mind is amazing. You can either do it through feelings or the mind, but the mind can be used to straighten out the mind or transcend the mind. So you can do something called self-reflection. Just got to be careful because the pain speaks in different ways. And if you have unresolved grief, then that's the part that needs to be worked on, because if you don't fix your own wound, then that wound will bleed onto other people. I've had a pattern in my past to feel sorry for myself because the victimization pattern is really closely tied with not feeling enough. So the self-flagellation happens relative to me not feeling enough and then feeling sorry for myself. It's actually a constant practice, and it takes a lot of commitment to keep showing up. So you want to be wary that there is going to be effort that's constantly required to take responsibility, to introspect, to celebrate your victories, to not beat yourself up too much when you fumble, because everyone makes mistakes. It means that you're not perfect. It means that you're human to make mistakes. So being gracious to yourself in the mistakes and using those, what you see as mistakes, as painful experiences generated to create the opportunity for growth, then that's where you might want to go. In regards to doing the work is actually just moving into more of a conscious space and then consciously reprogramming the patterns within your subconscious and your unconscious mind to become more aligned with where you want to go, rather than repeat cyclic patterns that aren't of any benefit to anyone. And in that, You need to know the roles that you play and the uniforms that you need to wear in regards to those roles. So when I'm in the male community, I act differently to when I'm a father at home with my kids, and then I act differently at school, and then I act differently at work, and then I act differently in my relationship. So there's a whole lot of dynamics that are very important in regards to consciously wearing the right hat for the right experience and the right expression at any point in time. There you go. The work works, but you got to do the work for it to work. Share the world. I'm David G, the online ashram. Om Namah Shivaya Hara Hara Mahadev. Thanks for joining me.